In this video, we are going to do this external thread in Solidworks. It is part B of the exercise modeling threads from the textbook in chapter 9. So the first step is to create a new file. I'm going to click the new file part, OK. I'm going to format my units. So select IPS in the status bar, click Edit Document Units. The drafting standard is going to be ANSI. The dimensions are going to be 0.123 and the units 0.123, and click OK. The first step is to create the base sketch or the sweep path. So we're going to create a new sketch on the front plane and Control 8 on your keyboard to make this normal. I'm going to draw a circle, and then I'm going to draw a line from this left quadrant of the circle, make sure it's aligned with the origin, and then just a straight horizontal line. In the yellow, you can see that a horizontal relation is already automatically added. So click and escape. I'm going to add some dimensions. So click Smart Dimensions. Click this endpoint, then hold Shift on your keyboard and select the circle and drag this down and drop. By holding Shift, it selects the outside of the circle instead of the center point. And this dimension is going to be 3.73, enter. And the diameter of this circle is going to be 1.25, enter. All right, check. And then I'm just going to draw a line, just, a random line right there, and hit trim and trim this part of the circle and hit escape to exit the trim. And by drawing this line, it allowed me to create this opening. So I no longer need the line, and I'm going to click the line and then click delete on my keyboard. All right. And then I'm going to hit Smart Dimension again. And I'm going to click this point right here, and this point, and click again. And this is going to be 15 degrees. Make sure to click in this specific order when adding this dimension here. Okay, check. And we can see we're fully defined. So now we can add our radius in. So I'm going to hit fillet. My fillet parameter is going to be 0.375, enter, or not enter, just 0.375. Then the entities to fillet is this point right there. Check. And then check again. I'm going to move this up so it's easier to see. All right, all my dimensions. So we can see we're fully defined. Therefore, we can move forward. We're going to select Exit Sketch. Then we are going to hit Reference Geometry, click Plane, and we want to create a plane that's perpendicular to this line, which is step 2. So you're going to select this line, and if I rotate, you can see that this new plane is parallel with the line. To make it perpendicular, I'm going to click this point as well, and you can see that it is now perpendicular to the line. And hit check. All right, step 3 is to create a sweep profile. So click your new plane, hit sketch, Control 8 to make this normal. I'm going to do a center circle. The center point is the origin, and draw any size. Then go to Smart Dimension. And the diameter is going to be 0.36, enter. Escape to exit out of that command. And you can see here is our sketch. So the next thing we're going to do is step 4, which is creating the sweep feature. And for a sweep command, we need a profile and a path. So this profile is going to be swept along this path here. So I'm going to exit sketch. I'm going to go to Swept Boss Base. The profile you can see right here, is going to be sketch 2, and the path is going to be this sketch 1 right here. And then we're going to click check. We no longer need this plane, so I'm just going to click the plane and hide it. Step 5 is to add chamfers. So in the feature tab, click the arrow under fillet and hit chamfer. The items to chamfer is going to be this circular edge and this circular edge right there. And the chamfer depth is going to be 0.050. And the angle is going to be 45 degrees. Check. Step 6 is to create the helix for the thread. So for our thread here, we're also going to use this sweep command, or a swept cut, which is the same as sweep, but it cuts your profile instead of adds material for your profile. And the path is going to be the helix. So we're going to create or click on this face here and create a sketch on it, and Control 8 to bring it to normal view. And then I'm going to select this edge here and convert entities. And for our helix, we just need this circular sketch. So I'm going to hit exit sketch. And then I'm going to hit curves, helix, and spiral. For my pitch, I'm going to use 0.055. We want to use the reverse direction for revolutions. It's going to be 39. For start angle, it's going to be 0 degrees, and we want to use the clockwise direction. And then click OK. So here's our path. And now we need to create our profile. So we're going to click front plane, sketch, and I'm going to zoom in right here. I'm going to create a center line. First, I'm just going to draw this thread over here. So I'll just draw a vertical center line here. And I'm going to draw a line from here to here to here, escape. And then I'm going to mirror entities. So I'm going to select these two lines, and I want to mirror about this center line, check. Then I can start adding some dimensions here. So I'm going to add a smart dimension. From here to here is 60 degrees. Enter. And then this next step, there seems to be an error. So in the textbook, it has the dimension from here to the fillet here. However, in the exercise file from the textbook, if I go into, let's see here, the edit sketch, the dimension is from this line to the top of the triangle. So it's really up to you. I'm going to do it the other way, but you want to make sure that you follow the correct instructions. I'm just going to follow the dimensions from the textbook. So I'm going to click my part here, and I'm going to hit sketch. I'm going to add a fillet. My fillet is going to be 0.005, and entities to fillet is this top piece right there. Check. All right, I'm gonna, oops, and then click check again to exit that command, and I'm gonna move this over. So again, in the textbook, they did it from here to the top of the triangle right there. But in the textbook, or in the exercise file, it does it from here to the top here, but in the textbook, it's dimensioned from this bottom line to the top of this fillet. Okay, so essentially ours is going to look a little different than the textbook because we're doing it this way. Actually, I'm gonna hit escape again, and I'm just gonna mimic the textbook. So from smart dimension from here to the top of the triangle, which was the endpoint of the center line, is gonna be 0.0425. enter. All right, and then check. Awesome. So the last thing is you can see that we can move this sketch around. We need to add a pierce relation between the end of the center point and the helix. So hold Control on your keyboard and then hit the end point of the center line in the helix, and then add a pierce relation. And this will ensure that the center point right here is connected to the end of this helix. And then hit check. And we're fully defined, so we can move forward. Hit Exit Sketch. And then in our Features tab, we are going to hit Swept Cut. Our profile is going to be the sketch 4, and our path is going to be the helix. So essentially, we are cutting this shape or a cut swept around the helix path, and click check. And this is what it should look like. Then we're going to click the helix and hit hide, right? I'm going to zoom out. And step 9 is to remove the undercut. So I'm going to zoom into this part here, select this face, hit sketch. Then I'm going to hit convert entities to convert all of those edges of the selected face into lines and arcs here. And so now we have a closed profile. And so I'm going to hit Exit Sketch, and I'm going to do an extruded cut. I'm going to select the through all extrude option, and I'm going to rotate, and you can see it goes straight through. I'm going to hit check. And then if I hit Control 1, you can see that there's no longer material right here. And step 10 is to save your work, and you'll submit this on Canvas.